Howdy folks, it's your old pal Monty here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and my scribe ChatGPT. I have to really apologize about the audio for the past couple of recordings. If you didn't see the prior video, I moved to San Francisco officially in January, and through my job I was able to learn Claude, and after hours I learned ChatGPT. So the reason I'm doing this in large part with the ChatGPT scribe is because I want to find fun stuff to do with ChatGPT, basically. I know there's been a lot of backlash associated with AI, but I love the artistic element that it creates, specifically associated with the dark Warhammer Fantasy aesthetic. My time in San Francisco was pretty brutal. I had to sell a bunch of stuff in order to get there, and I probably sold too much stuff. And here we're talking about rulebooks, white wolves, miniatures, bunch of different rulebooks, D&D modules. I basically got rid of, I think, 200 pounds of stuff. Most of that was in miniatures, obviously, but still a lot of stuff to get rid of. San Francisco was really brutal. There was no game stores, no real ones with any floor space to play. There were game stores that didn't have any Games Workshop-related stuff or didn't have any bolt action. So it was a very strange environment. I know if you get out of San Francisco, particularly if you go south, you get more space and these kind of things. I did meet one fellow called Eric who had a space in San Francisco, and unfortunately I was canned before I had an opportunity to see his space. So I had to rush back to Las Vegas and, recombobulate, for want of a better term. I did buy a Steel Legion army while I was there, and this is an amazingly well-painted Steel Legion army. It's not quite, you could quite feel that maybe for 1,000 points, maybe 1,200 if you were pushing it. But just the miniatures, you look at them, and for a start, some of them are reposed out of the standard Steel Legion pose, which is an immediate giveaway. But the ones that are officially looking like Steel Legion weigh nothing. And they're actually relatively strong. I mean, I had to re-glue on a couple of arms and a couple of lasguns off some of the chimeras. But amazing technology, which obviously one has to pick up in the Bay Area. I have been working on the first Chechen War rules, which folks may not even be familiar with this who subscribe to this channel. If you go back to My Rules Are Better, there is a long discussion for many years associated with me getting the first Chechen War rules out. And they're based on the Field of Chaos rules. Now, Field of Chaos I'm currently rendering into a film, which hopefully will have better audio than the previous recordings in this particular podcast or YouTube channel, for want of a better term. In any case, if you want to get a copy of the Chechen rules, it also has a resource that has a full history associated with the first Chechen wars, which is a kind of, secondary publication to go with the rules. Anyway, github.com/Barbalay, which is my last name ending in a T, /Field of Chaos. And if you scroll down, Field of Chaos is all one word. If you scroll down, you'll get to the download links. I'd like to give a shout out to Nurgling, who's patiently waiting for his shout out. I'm not sure how ChatGPT is going to render Nurgling, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'm Tom Barbalay. It's ChatGPT in Las Vegas, Nevada, signing out.